kettlebell. We were doing a deadlift with somebody. I won't use names here, but I was doing a kettlebell deadlift with somebody, and they picked up a lighter kettlebell. I pointed out to them and said, let's stay light here. I pointed to the kettlebell, and they came back to me with this rebuttal of, well, isn't that too light? And I kind of I took the moment to think and say, all right, so how do I convey to them that it's not about the weight of the kettlebell, it's about the intensity of the exercise? And I said, okay, if you believe that weight's too light, imagine it weighs, I don't know, 200 pounds. Right, it happened to be a 35-pound kettlebell. I was like, well, imagine it weighs 200. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to try and yank with all your force that you possibly can to get that kettlebell off the ground, but you spread your strength across your body in such a way that the intensity, it feels like you're turning the volume knob from 6 up to 8 or 9, just simply by the force that you're doing in your starting position and through the movement. And what do you know? That just framing it like that was like, whoa. Suddenly this kettlebell feels so heavy, and yet I'm able to move it very easily. How did you do that? It's like, wasn't me, man. That wasn't me. That was you.
Yeah. But that's exactly it. Like, so we talk about compound movements as recruiting lots of muscles, but also using lots of joints in those movements. Yeah. But also it's the framing of you're setting yourself up as if you're about to lift 200 pounds in a deadlift when it may only be 35 or 70 or 100.
Yeah.
It's creating enough tension, embracing yourself enough, embracing meaning like you're tightening up your body, right? You're bracing, so tightening up your entire body so that you are going to recruit the right muscles, feel comfortable and confident, but also know that you're protecting yourself, specifically your spine. Yeah, like you have to protect your spine. And we've heard it too often. Too often do people come in here. Most people end up here. I mean, you know this, but I'm saying this for like everyone else listening too. But like most people come to us because they've worked out at other places. That's a key term. They have done workouts at other places, whether they are a higher tier option where you actually have a coach there instructing you, or it's a lower tier option where you just kind of show up and you're paying the monthly fee to like rent access to using their equipment, right? And there's anything in between. But most people come here because they've injured themselves or they've had pain with other workouts in other places, and they come here to resolve that pain. And so we're taking that look as like, okay, let's look at it from a bird's eye perspective and look at it from a fitness professional perspective and say, what's going on with that movement? Let's identify those dysfunctions that are causing those pains. Let's make sure we're not doing those things again. Trying to break those habits for a lot of our adults because they just want to fall back into it. And then eventually see that progress. And that's the key point there is progress over perfection.
Yeah, I think we tend to see injury happen the most. I think you'll agree with this too. We tend to see injury happen the most when we try to do too much too fast.
Yeah.
And that's applying the concepts of safe technique, all these different things. Don't get me wrong. There's a time and place for when you can allow your spine to bend when you're picking something off the ground. We happen to here at Bent on Better, we happen to train that movement in such a technical way because we want to prepare you, build resilience for the times that you can maybe allow your spine to bend a little bit more or not. But ultimately, when you're moving heavy weights and we're doing it with very intentional technique, it's going to feel inefficient. At times, you're going to say, wait, why are you relating this to real life when it feels so darn robotic and everything here? And the point is, well, you're building your ability to then, go out later and do these things without worrying about that.
Yeah.
And that's why we do repetitions too, We can practice multiple instead of just one and done. And be like, I screwed up. Darn, I'll wait until the next time I come back. It's like, no, you got multiple chances to try and make up for that.
And we're focusing until I'm going to summarize what you're saying.
Go for it.
We are focusing on, you ready for this? I'm going to blow your mind. We're focusing on a part of the fitness journey that most places don't focus on, which is identity. So we're focusing on changing someone's identity with the habits that create who they are. So think about it like this, like, dude, like how often do you need to, like when you wake up in the morning, like you don't have to fight to try to go pee, right? Like you're not going to fight to go pee. Like it's a natural thing, right? Like you've been holding your pee all night. Like, you have to go to the bathroom really bad. Like you wake up and you're just like, all right, I'm just going to go. You don't have to be like, oh, I got to make myself pee. Like, oh, I woke up now, I need to pee. Just like it happens. Same thing with like brushing your teeth. Like you don't have to fight every single day when you brush teeth every day, right?
Oh yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you brush teeth, right? When you wake up in the morning, You don't have to fight yourself like, let's go, like bang yourself in the face, like, oh, let's go. Like this, you don't have to hype yourself up to brush your teeth.
No,
it's
I
part
guess
of your,
not.
It's part of your habit. It's your identity. You like to make sure that you're taking care of your oral hygiene.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with fitness. Like we are changing people's perspective, and we're making a habit. So like picking up the kettlebell with this robotic like instruction of like, good, hinge back of the hips, just bend your knees, tighten up your core, pull your lats down and back, make sure everything's lined up. Good. And then press from the ground with your heels. Good. Come up all the way up, full motion, all the way. Good. Lock it out. Finish that movement. Right. We're doing these step-by-step movements to create these habits that don't need to be cued eventually. So that way, when you are at home, you're not getting ready to pick up. Like if you need to move your couch, you're not going to like think, okay, I need to sit down and brace, breathe, do all these things. You're going to just like kind of do it
Instinctually.
Instinctually, you're just going to try to pick it up from one spot and move it to another spot. Right. But if we can teach you, like this is what we do. If like we can teach you how to do it properly, you will then have a better chance of doing that, moving that couch properly than you would if you just like bent over and also bracing and like controlling and understanding, like letting your muscles be more resilient.
Beautiful.
You know?
Yeah. You painted that picture very well. Yeah.
Thank
I was
you.
trying to figure out, I was like, where is this man talking about pee for?
Yeah.
All of a sudden talking about picking. Okay.
Yeah, I got to figure it, hey, pee.
And you know what's funny too? I think I'm addressing our members too when I say this. So if you're a Bent Home Better member and you're hearing me say this right now, you've been warned. The time for us as coaches to really like watch, even though we're watching you while you're doing your reps, and sometimes we're literally right next to you while you're doing these reps, right? More often than not, we're right next to you.
Yeah.
But the times when we walk away and when we might not have our eyes directly on you and we watch as you move a weight from one side of the gym to the next without there being a program movement there. So there's no, well, sometimes there are, pick up and move, right? We have that actually programmed in, but sometimes it's not like pick up that dumbbell from the rack and bring it back to your spot. And when we watch you do that, we're looking to see, are you using your technique? And if you're not, more often than not, again, and I know you do this too, you'll go, hey, sorry, not to go, pop the mics here. Sorry to anybody who's listening with headphones
Blew out an eardrum.
Go, hey, redo that motion. What you just did there. And they go, what? What do you mean what motion? I'm like, no. You just picked up that dumbbell to bring back to your spot, right? To use later. Yeah. Okay. Now show me how to use your technique to do that. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. They start to draw the lines of, so you mean to tell me every time we practice that movement before, you still want to see me do it after the program's done?
Yeah.
Like, you just hit it. Like that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.